So as golfers, we're all looking for that one thought, that one feeling that's really going to help us, once we're set to the golf ball, hit accurate, powerful golf shots to make golf seem much more simple when we play. And certainly as a coach, that's absolutely what I'm looking for. Can we give you watching, or somebody when they come to see me, one area to focus on that's really going to help improve the way we deliver the golf club into the ball, improving our strike, improving our speed and our direction, so that you're hitting the ball longer and straighter, moving it down the hole and then turning it into better scores. So when we're looking to hit a nice accurate shot with any club, but particularly when the ball's on the floor, we want the club approaching the ball on a good line or path. We want the club face to be pointing in a decent position, and we want some nice contact of ball and then ground, obviously with driver, maybe the club travelling up a little bit more. And when we talk about how we're going to control delivering the club into the golf ball, the way we use our shoulders in the golf swing, and particularly our right shoulder, can massively influence the way we deliver that club. So I had a client in last week, and we focused on his right shoulder, and the improvement was huge. So I'll demonstrate initially the kind of shot he was hitting, and then talk about why he was doing it and how we made that little change. So he was set up to the golf ball really well. He had some good coaching in the past and watched a lot of content, to be fair, on YouTube. But then when he swung the golf club, incredibly glancing blow. And the numbers on TrackMan there are very similar to what we saw with him. He generated some nice club head speed, did manage from time to time to get the low point ahead, but the club path way out to win and the club face wide open. And 6-iron there, travelling literally 135 yards. So what we noticed was, obviously his club face was wide open at impact, and the way he was managing to square that up was that the path of the club was working way from out to in, swinging left, and like I said, a very glancy blow. But when we actually looked at his swing, certainly down the line, what we tended to see is from a good address position, his right shoulder would work very, very flat on the way back, and then would work out towards the ball, and then this way. So it was really a case of if we could get that right shoulder moving better and helping him understand how the right shoulder should move, we were going to deliver the club better and strike the ball even better. So what we did initially for him was said, right, get into your address position and lift the club up in front of you so that your spine's straight up. And then I said, just swing the golf club around your body. So we could do that. And I said, I want you to pay attention to what your right shoulder does. And he went, well, the right shoulder goes behind me and then comes round in front of me. I was like, right, so that's very much what you do in the golf swing. But the challenge is you're not up here, you're down here. So what's happening is that right shoulder's moving flat and then flat. So the shoulder is moving very level. I said, and actually what we need you to feel is that when we're here, the right shoulder needs to go up and then down and under that chin. So we got him to make a few practice swings, focus on just the right shoulder, and like I said, moving up a little bit on the way back, and then certainly on the way down under that chin. Straight away, he said his body felt very, very different, kind of felt through impact, like this side of his body was much tighter through the ball. It's actually getting a little bit of side bending. And what we said was, we're going to make a few practice swings with that and just tell me again what you feel. So straight away, we noticed some nice interaction with the ground. So the ones he did strike before were okay, but a lot of the time, he'd kind of actually struggle getting down to the ground. So even if his low point was ahead, he'd hit the top of the golf ball. So straight away, the movement felt hugely different. So I said to him, what we need to do, we're going to hit some shots, maybe not at full speed to begin with, but again, we're going to really focus on how that right shoulder moves. And the big thing is, I don't want you to worry what the golf ball is going to do, because I think initially, whenever we make a change, we always react to the golf ball and try and make the ball do what we want to begin with. And he stood up and said, right, swing a little bit slower, but focus on what that right shoulder is going to do through the golf swing. And straight away, we saw a completely different delivery. Yes, the speed was slightly down, the low point was still good, but the change in path suddenly became incredibly straight like that, 0.2 degrees from the inside, and the face much more neutral, 0.3 degrees open, and the carry jumping up 20 yards. Now, honestly, that was very similar to his first shot, and it blew his mind. Because he said in his head, that feeling felt like the ball might go over there, because historically that club face had been wide open. So we said that's fine, but see, as we start moving that shoulder better, we're delivering the club differently, and therefore we're able to release the club better. So we went one more with a little bit less speed. And even though it wasn't as good a result, the speed was still nice, the low point was good, the contact was good, the path was still from the inside, and we still got more distance than before. So then we said, right, if we can focus on that movement with speed out, can we build speed back in, but still pay attention to the quality of the movement? And as you're working through this video, you might find as you put a little bit more speed back in, you lose a little bit of awareness as to what you're doing. Then the swing might revert a bit back to normal. So never be afraid of just taking a little bit of speed out of your golf swing to improve your awareness levels, get you focused on moving better, and then build speed back in. So we stood up, got him set again, said all about the right shoulder, don't care about the result. And instantly, some nice speed, low point ahead, a little bit from the inside again. Club face now was starting to show a little bit closed, and 167 yards. And for a golfer who had kind of, the ones he got on target were like that glancy blow that didn't go anywhere, but everything else was shaping left to right. Honestly, it was such a kind of game-changing moment for him, understanding that he can get that club moving from the inside, from getting that shoulder working up on the way back and then down. And we can see when that shoulder moves down, the club shallows out, and we're able to swing more from the inside. So then we said, do you know what? If it's going that well, have a bit of fun, see how much speed you can generate, and see if you can still get that right shoulder moving how you want. And as his speed picked up, we still saw that the path was from the inside, the club face was closed, but he definitely felt uncomfortable swinging quicker. And it can be hard thinking of two things. So we said, right, and he did miss hit a couple when he tried to be quick. So we said, right, don't try and be slow, don't try and be quick. Just swing the club quite freely, but really let that shoulder move up and down, creating more of a tilt in that swing rather than a turn. Because the turn was fine, but if we don't put the angles in, we can't get down to the ground, and we're going to deliver the club very, very poorly. So we stood up, really focused on that right shoulder, and again, saw that lovely shot, club delivered from the inside with good speed, low point ahead, creating that ball and then ground contact, club face slightly closed, and a massive 32 yards pickup in distance. So guys, like I said at the start, for me as a coach, it's really important that whenever you're working on something, you try and keep your focus in that one area. And particularly if that one area can make a huge difference, like we saw with my client, absolutely becomes much easier to kind of stand up, focus on, and get the validation from the result. But if you are someone who struggles with that path control and being too much out to in, really get that focus on that right shoulder. In the backswing feels it moves up, but especially in the downswing, that right shoulder goes down, then you can swing through. You're going to start delivering the club from the inside, maybe even closing that club face and turning that horrible glancy fade into a nice, powerful draw.